Hi everyone, this is Matt here. I'm just at the local Henderson Park here. You guys have seen this in my other videos, just around here. You guys have seen this in my other videos. Just showing you guys what's happening. Yeah, just wanted to update my YouTube channel about what's going on in our country. Obviously, a lot of you guys are going through a lot of similar issues around the world, and I believe the Lord's waking us up in these last days. And I've probably said this in other videos. I just wondering if you guys, if your guys' families have been under attack because of certain medications or psychotic drugs, or just general attacks from the enemy. I think we're living in a day and age where mental health is actually a very common thing now. It's nothing to be shameful or hidden or silent about. And I just wanting to know, if there's any lawyers out there who want to make a comment. I'm considering taking legal action against my doctor in 2025, just because I've been abused. I've been afflicted by someone else's nicotine in our household, and trying to just take my life off the planet and trying to destroy my life by nicotine. And everywhere I go now, I'm basically smelling other people's nicotine in this country. So I've pretty much been used as a vessel to soak up everyone else's cancer and poison in the society, which is it's sick. It's really sick. You want to live your life for God, and you've been attacked by the enemy, and then when you're walking around society smelling everyone else's poison, pretty much. And I'm not judging those who smoke, but it's costing life. It's costing over 5,000. Here in this country, over 5,000 deaths a year alone. It's probably costing millions more in other nations around the world. I'll just show you what I got from Temu just recently. If I can find it, I might be in my other pocket. Actually, just a sec. What society actually really needs to buy is just buy one of these. You guys can see it. It's just like a little breathing necklace. I bought it from Temu online for about $6-7, something like that. Just real. I mean, it's probably just a real cheap thing, but it does. People really want to care about the neighbours. Buy yourself a little breathing necklace. $6-7 isn't going to break the bank. And I've got one, just to get rid of all the nicotine in my lungs, because of the second-hand smoke I've been smelling from society. And I just, again, if any lawyers from around the world just want to comment, I'm considering taking legal action over my doctor in this new year. I've basically just had enough of the silent treatment of mental health. Mental health is actually a very common thing now, and nothing should have to be used to be shameful or be hidden about. Again, yes, people do have a right to privacy, but at the end of the day, people in society do have a right to speak about mental health on all levels, forms or shapes, without being shameful or being hidden about, or being treated unfairly. Which I have been in some cases. I believe that Satan is using mental health pretty much in our society to shut people up, such as myself. This is why we've had the police come into our household in the last couple of months or so, to actually say, look, the individual in our household has been on a medication too long. Things have gotten worse for himself. He just wants me to be quiet about mental health in the household. And this is, and I have to say this to you guys. Satan is going to use mental health against you guys and your family to shut things up in its time. And it is actually time for us believers to wake up about what's going on in our world and our society today. we can't just be quiet and just let the devil run people's lives and let him do what he likes. I mean, we all struggle with sin. I do. Talk about myself. I struggle with sin too, but we are called to be different. We're called to be the light of the world. We're called to do the Great Commission before Jesus Christ comes back. Just an update. We did have a I don't know if I've mentioned it in some of my YouTube videos, but we had a guy from Australia come over to our church. When I say our church, not just our church, but other churches in New Zealand, talking about evangelism, doing street preaching, having a vision for the church for the next 5-10 years. But realistically, when we're actually thinking about it in these times, we can, the church can have visions, and we can have a long-term goal for what's the church is wanting to do. When I say the church, I'll talk about any church in general, but because I believe that we're living close towards the second coming of Christ, we just got to take it that one day at a time. And I think we have got a job to do in our society. So I'm just going to wipe this camera over a little bit, guys. Sorry about that. So I'm just encouraging you guys in the faith to speak up about God and His Word. I think there's a lot of you see like the Islamic people and other nations around the world who are trying to push their views onto even the believers, and they. I mean, it's going to come to a point where the Christian and the Muslim are sort of going to have to argue their theology about who Jesus is, and I mean, at the end of the day, who are you trying to convince? You're only going to convince yourself of who you stand for. You can't. I mean, I could go out to the streets and start preaching, God's word in our day today, but in the end, Jesus is going to judge all things. In the end, He's going to judge us individually, judge the whole nation, judge every person, judge the whole world and everything in it, pretty much. But if it comes to that kind of, I mean, you're seeing stuff like that happen in the UK, where it's called a speaker's corner, where we got Christians and Muslims sort of arguing between the theology between the Bible and their Quran, and hopefully nothing will end up like being like that in this country. But if it does, I mean, if I see someone like that, if their thing in our country, I'll just say to them, who are you to judge? Who are you to judge? We're all going to be judged by Jesus Christ. And that they don't, we can't, as a believer, I personally believe, yes, we are to judge the sins of people in their lives, but we're not allowed to. Jesus even told us, when He was doing His ministry early in His day, to why should you take your why pluck out your log in your brother's eye when you can't see the speck in your own eye? And and I'm saying that for myself too, and that's a very difficult thing to see. When you are trying to preach and when you're trying to say something to society, it comes back to what does I think at the end of this life, God's word's going to judge all things in the end, pretty much. Not other theologies, not other doctrines, not other principles or studies. God's word is going to be the judge of all things in the end, not us, not us in our own human understanding or theology in the end. So I just wanted to come on to this YouTube video very quickly. Just wanted to say Merry Christmas to all you guys. It'll be end of year 2023 2024 into 2025 next year. You know, and there is actually a lot of things happening, you know, that the Lord is doing around other parts of society. You know, he's been putting dreams into those who went of a Christian faith, and now he's been doing it through dreams and visions and other places around, you know, around the world. So I believe the Lord is doing a lot of good, you know, as well as the underlying evil and under causes, roots of the evilness in our society too. You know, and I just believe it will live in closer towards the second coming of Jesus Christ in this day and age too. You know, nothing needs to be hidden or shameful about. You know, and we are to love our enemies. We are to love those around us. You know, we will have our struggles, our own faults, our own habits, I guess, in life. But you know, we are to pray for one another, to pray for those who may be, you know, going through things. But, you know, because it is up to the Lord who's going to judge all things. You know, we can't. Sorry if I'm just fitting my bandana on my video here. It still looks a bit crooked on this side. Sorry guys, this side here. Yeah, so I just want to say to all you guys, just on this video here, you know, you always I've just been using this video channel to speak about mental health, the times we're living in. You know, and I believe the Lord is waking us up. You know, and He needs to wake the church up to what's going on in our society. You know, I'll be honest. I've been spiritually attacked in the house. Everywhere, like I said in the beginning of the video, I've been everywhere I walk now. People want to, you know, smoke outside in society. This cancer's just continually attacking my house all the time, and I'm trying to be taken off the planet slowly by nicotine and cancer. And you know, it's wrong. You know, it's really sick to smell other people's nicotine. You know, nobody. You know, I'm going to say it pretty bluntly. Nicotine just causes it's murder. It is literally murder in the lungs. It's murdering those in society and in the community too. And look, like I'm saying before, pardon me, I'm not judging those who smoke, but it is destroying our society off. It is killing off loved ones. It's killing off family members. It's killing off those who you know, having to go to hospital and getting themselves, you know, obviously having operations for lung issues and lung problems, and it's no need for it, guys. You know, and I'm talking about to those in society and the non-believers. If you guys really want to care for one another, if you guys truly want to live in a society I mean, we're living in a broken society at present, but if you're wanting to care for those around you and your neighbours, if you're wanting to really help out for those in need, you know, please be mindful. I mean, I'm on this video saying I can't stop you from smoking or whatever, but please be mindful. Please, you know, if you're smoking in a beer bottle or empty can of Coke, you know, just to reduce the smell, so people don't have to be so much affected, you know, by the poison from the nicotine. You know, because everyone's health is needs to be respected, pretty much. And again, I'm just saying this as a general rule of thumb. You know, let's if you guys really want to love one another, please look out for one another. Please be respectful of everyone else's health. You know, if you're wanting to. If you are trying to smoke and you're trying to do the right thing and respecting everyone else's health, good on you. But I'm talking about more of those who just want to deliberately do it in someone else's face. That's not respectful at all. So I just want to say to you guys, I love you and leave you for now, and I'll make another one soon. And if I don't, you know, you guys have a good Christmas. Have a good Happy New Year's in 2025. I'll probably make a video in the New Year's. So anyway, guys, I have to love you and leave you for now, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye.